What's going on, guys? What's new? What's happening? Jake Vince, how's it go? How is it going?
How's it going?
It's not going well for me, as you can tell.
I mean, I'm tired, but I'm
Did you
here.
have work today?
I did. I got up, went to work, and now I'm here. But update. I got my Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
Replaced the main unit, and
Does it work properly now from Nintendo?
Yeah. Since Nintendo, my favorite thing about it getting it back is it had a sticker on it that said it's like this has been pulled and personally tested to make sure it fits all the like qualifications. So I'm like, that means this one's a good one. They definitely like that. Just makes me feel good about it. So,
But it's working. Have you tried it out yet? Have you been playing it?
Oh yeah. I got the only two games that a lot of people are getting for it right now, but I got Breath of the Wild, and I got Mario Kart 8, and yeah, it's really cool. I haven't had a chance to play it a ton, but like it's I love it, and it's actually addicting. So
That's
so
awesome.
my problem with it is that games like Mario Kart, I can only have fun on Mario Kart if it's a social like gathering. Like if there's tons of other people playing with it,
right?
And I don't know anybody that has a Switch besides you, so I feel like that wouldn't be very fun.
That's true, because I'm excited to go back to school, and we also have two friends in St. Louis like that I could play the Mario Kart with. So, and I'm excited to go back to school too, because several of the people I know got a Switch over the summer. So
That's good. That's good.
That's one of the reasons why I got it, is because I know that we're gonna play some Mario Kart.
Sam, are we staying as far away from the Switch as possible?
Yeah. There's only one game. Mario Kart is the only game that I would be interested in playing.
See, Sam's a little hesitant. He's not sure.
I'm kind of scared. I'm like, I honestly,
on a little Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, I feel like if I bought a Nintendo Switch, it would be like the stereotypical, you play it constantly for 2 days and then you never touch it again.
Yep.
But you were a Nintendo kid, Sam.
Well, I had the DS, I had the Wii. I got the Wii like the big Christmas that everybody wanted one.
Yeah, exactly. So what happened with me then is like at the beginning of the summer before 7th grade, I got my Xbox 360, and I was just like, goodbye, Nintendo. I never
Can we talk about this for a second? Just because you had a Wii doesn't make you a Nintendo kid.
That is not true. What?
No.
Yes, it does.
No. A Nintendo kid played on the N64. Did you ever play Super Mario on the N64? Because I did. I'm a Nintendo kid.
No,
I'm gonna go with like, what? How old are you, Vince? Are you 19 or?
I'm 19. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
just
I'm
dox
20.
him, huh?
I'm 20, and like I feel like our generation at this point, it was the GameCube you started with, because I started with the GameCube.
I had one of those. I had the Wii when it first came out. If anybody's a Nintendo kid, it's me, and I still have zero interest.
Sam did have a NES. You did have an NES.
I still have an NES.
Yeah, but
I feel like if anybody's gonna be a Switch or a Nintendo person, it's us, and I still have no interest in it.
Really, this is what got me on board. And here's the thing: is when it comes from a technology standpoint, I've been waiting for a gaming portable that actually renders graphics in decent quality for years. Ever since I got my initial DS, I've been waiting for it, and it's finally here. And I really hope that other manufacturers like try to understand or try to make their own portable, because I love the idea of powerful portables. And
isn't that just a laptop?
Well, but
or an iPad?
See, you can't just pull a gaming laptop out on like or in a car or like a bus or like something like that and just play. Because you lose some of the experience. It's like, well, you need a mouse like to properly play PC games, and also gaming laptops are rather expensive. It's just cool to have this device, it's really sleek and it works. It works pretty well. I didn't think Nintendo would be the one to make this product that I've been waiting for years, because they're not really the people to.
They're not on the cusp of newest technology now.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm surprised about. But it and it doesn't render games at the best quality, and a lot of AAA people or studios won't be able to make games for it, which is just what's going to happen.
My thought is that if like you've mentioned that nobody else has really been trying to do this, and I disagree with you. I think that
no, it's just
no. Like the iPod, the original iPod, that kind of started this trend of mobile gaming, and now the first iPods are going away.
Oh yeah.
And I think the iPod Touch is coming up soon.
Yeah.
But we still have phones in our pockets. We still have tablets, and I think those are still always going to be a little bit more popular than something like a mobile gaming.
Oh
like
yeah.
The Switch or a PS Vita.
And they're more powerful too.
Yeah.
Like
so
they actually are at this point. But the problem is that it doesn't. The market for games on phones is not the market for gamers. You have a ton of games like Candy Crush, all these like Facebook games, like
is
just
the
little
Switch,
mini games.
Does the Switch have a market? Because it's only got 5 games.
Yeah, but it's gonna expand, and obviously, if you don't like Nintendo games, then don't buy it. I mean. Yeah, you're buying it essentially to play Nintendo games, and third-party support will never be that great on it. But buying it just makes it a little makes other manufacturers a little bit more curious about making their own product. And the reason the PSP failed is because it was in that mid-range of it basically has like iPhone-looking graphics, but like it just wasn't like good enough / had games on it exclusives on it that people wanted to play, and that's why it died. In terms of, but yeah, with phones, I think slowly we'll see more like third part or better overall games on phones as they continue to get stronger, but the market for gaming on phones is just not the same at all. But yeah, like gaming on iDevices was really interesting, and even before the iPod Touch, there was some games on like the iPod Classic and stuff.
Like Snake. I played Snake, and like there was a rollerball game.
And now they're
Sam, they're
going away.
What do you think about all this?
I think that there's definitely a market for the Switch.
You think there's a market for powerful portable gaming devices?
I think that there's a market for the Switch because it's from Nintendo. I don't see any other players coming into the game. But I definitely don't think that the Switch would even be as popular as like an Xbox or PlayStation.
It's going to sell more units than... It's sold more... I mean, obviously the PlayStation's been out and the Xbox has been out for years now, but it's sold more units than both like in the past couple months as it's been released, and it's going to pass up the Wii eventually in sales, which is...
I don't think that matters as much because there's a ton of hype behind it, and once that hype dies, I don't think you'll see as many active users as you do on an Xbox or a PlayStation.
Yeah, no, I don't think you will either. It might just continue to be a unique case, but like it like and it's also interesting from a standpoint is that only about it with a Wii, basically everybody everyone knew what it was. Like almost every household had one. So it's kind of interesting how it's just like a gamer audience this time.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, hey, do you guys want to jump into things that actually matter?
Yeah.
Like something that is very sad. Did you guys see the big news this week?
I did.
The
I
iPod
watched your
is dying.
very depressing video.
The iPod is dying. What is happening? What are your thoughts?
Before we go any further,
That's sad.
if anybody in the chat has not seen it, need to look at it because it might honestly be the most depressing video about an iPod anybody could make.
It's my favorite video that you've ever made.
It's probably my favorite video too.
Well, it was weird because I didn't even have the idea of making that video, and I think I actually have it linked up in the top right-hand corner of the screen. If you're watching this on YouTube now. But when I went into it, I just made it as more of like, oh, let me talk about the iPod, like my thoughts for the future and what happened, just so people know what's going on with the iPod. And then I sat down and I just had this idea. I'm like, oh, I want to do like a little snippet of Steve Jobs talking about the Nano. And then I was like, wait, I can make it like super emotional and put like piano music in the background. And I was really happy with the way it turned out. Like I watched it back 3 or 4 times before I was like, this is good. But it was one of the videos that I really enjoyed making. And it's sad, too, because the iPod was my first Apple product.
Yeah, mine too. What was your first iPod, Sam? What was the first one you got?
So I got a between a second and fourth generation iPod Nano. And then I got the Touch, I think a year later or 6 months later. And then after that, I got more iPod Touches, and I don't think I ever got a non-touchscreen Apple mobile device since I got the iPod Touch.
See,
Jake, what about you?
Yeah, my first iPod is actually the one you have on screen right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my mom originally had an iPod Shuffle, and she handed it down to me after she got an iPod Nano, second generation, I think. It was like lime green. And so I mean, I thought this was really cool to have, and it's a very interesting looking device, but obviously I wasn't happy until because you can't see what your music, you can't really select anything. It's extremely difficult. So because it just shuffles music. So my next iPod was my iPod Nano 3rd generation, the cube-looking one. And that one, I always really loved the look of that one. It's so cool. Mm-hmm. And then I got my iPod Touch 2nd gen.
Yeah, that's when I hopped on, was the 2nd gen iPod Touch.
Yep, I had the 2nd gen Shuffle.
Oh, yeah.
That was my first. I had my name engraved in the back.
Oh, cool.
I still have it, actually. It's held as a dear spot in my heart. And it's cool to go back and listen to some of the old songs you used to listen to when you were like 10.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think I'll ever get rid of it. Unless somebody I need wants to buy it.
Did you guys both get the iPod Shuffle first?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, really? I never
3 touches.
I never liked the idea of the shuffle because I didn't want to just shuffle my music.
See,
right.
You're weird like that. When you came up,
I
hated the fact that I shuffle my music whenever I listen to it. And that's the only way I can.
Wait, what, Sam?
I want to listen to music, when I'm listening to a playlist, yes, I want my music shuffled.
Yeah.
When I'm listening to an album, I don't want the album shuffled. I want to listen to the album the way that the artist intended it to be listened to, which was 1 through
album
10.
Straight through. That's what.
Yeah.
It depends on how I'm feeling. Sometimes I shuffle and sometimes I listen to it straight
Especially
through.
if you've heard the album before.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like if I've heard the album 50 times, and I'm gonna start
one
shuffling.
specific song you want to listen to from the album.
Yeah.
Or
if
3,
I just want to listen
you're
to
not
one
gonna wait through the entire thing.
Well, then I'll just skip through. I don't know. I've always listened. I guess I used to be more of a shuffle guy, but as I've started to get more into listening to full albums, I definitely I enjoy listening to it from the start of the album to the end rather than shuffling.
Also, can we agree that iTunes shuffling sucks?
Oh yeah, because isn't it the same every single time?
You it's just really bad at selecting the order in which it selects music, and then sometimes it'll be the same, and it's only until you do it on the iTunes app that it switches it. It's weird. It's bad. But
okay.
Yeah, I agree with you from the standpoint of I had the iPod Shuffle first just because I wanted an iPod and I got it for free from my mom. If I had the choice, I would obviously chose the iPod Nano. I agree that I don't like the idea of not being able to see the music and select it. You just click play and then it goes, which is
I think that's perfect for working out. Like
That's
shuffle,
true.
that's what they were designed
Yeah.
for. They're different. They're completely
it's
different
very
devices.
Yeah, I agree.
They're for
That's
different
cool.
user bases.
Yeah, I had no
And,
idea
like-
you had gotten the shuffle first.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. Well, they're dead almost. The iPod Touch got a storage boost for the same price. So the 32 gigabyte model is now $199, and then then there's the 128 gigabyte for $299, which is honestly that's a crazy amount of storage for $300.
Right.
That's a pretty good deal to me.
It is a pretty good deal, I think.
But the specs are very outdated. It's iPhone
What are
6
they?
specs.
Ooh.
So it's 2 years old. It came out in 2015. The iPhone 6 was either coming out or was already out.
It's true.
So it's pretty behind the times.
Yeah.
But it got an upgrade. I was really hoping we would see a spec boost.
I don't think they will, especially if they just did the old iPods. This might be on its last leg until it can no longer run the latest version of iOS.
Yeah. It was weird.
Here's how I feel about like it, and obviously it makes sense why they're killing off the Shuffle and the Nano. I get it, like the Nano it still ran that weird fork of like iOS 6. It's so weird looking. And but like nobody's gonna buy the Shuffle. Nobody was buying the Shuffle anymore, probably.
Yeah, I don't
because
think so.
you can obviously get like good pouches for like phones and stuff, and it was great for working out. But other than that, like nobody was wanting to do that anymore. It was a great device for people who wanted an iPod but couldn't afford like the other ones too. And the iPod Nano, it just was basically, it's like, well, why not get an iPod Touch if you're gonna get music? And then everybody has the iPhone now. So the only thing that I think they should never kill off is the iPod Touch, because yes, I'm sure it doesn't make as much money as it used to, and I'm claiming the main reason why is because obviously we all got an iPod Touch because we want an iPhone, but obviously we couldn't get the phone part yet. We weren't old enough / didn't have the money.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the solution. It was a great solution. And now phones are handed down from parents to their children. And so once that starts happening, it negates the use of an iPod Touch. And especially if it's outdated. So like, yeah, it sucks that the other two are gonna die. But it makes sense to me why they're killing them off. But I just don't want them to ever kill that iPod Touch because it's really
here's
cool.
the thing. Jake, how do you listen to all your music?
I mean, on my phone, obviously, I'll listen to it.
What do you use, like Apple Music? Or
I actually
Spotify?
do. I do use Apple Music.
Sam, you use Apple Music. I use Spotify, Pandora. There's Google Play Music. Nobody really uses iTunes to listen to music anymore, and that was the main way.
Yeah,
That's the only way you can listen to music from an iPod Shuffle or an iPod Touch, or not an iPod Touch, an iPod Nano.
that's true. Yeah.
So because nobody's using iTunes anymore, it kind of really did make those devices useless.
Yep. That's also a good point.
Yeah, it was crazy when I saw it. I was just like, oh my gosh! I give Apple 2 years, and then the Touch is gone. I predicted in 2 years the Touch is going to be dead, and there will be no more iPods.
iOS 12
device.
No, I mean the iPhone 6 isn't going to be supported on iOS in 2 years, so that would make sense.
Then it would.
Unless they killed it. I mean, unless they released a new one. I'm still holding out. I would be so excited for the release of a new iPod Touch. That's something that I've wanted forever. But, probably not going to happen.
Would you rather see an iPhone SE2 or an iPod Touch? What would you be more excited for?
I mean, iPhone SE2. If it was like maybe a different design or some new specs. But I would still be very excited. I'll say this. I would be less excited about an iPhone SE2 if it kept the same design. I'd be very excited about a new iPod Touch if Apple put some R&D, research and development into it and made it look like a thinner iPhone 7 with like a 4.7-inch screen. I would be excited to see that much more than a new iPhone.
Because one thing that was always cool about the iPod Touches is they looked so much sleeker than the iPhone. Because obviously they were smaller housings, they were thinner, and they almost look more futuristic because of that fact. So, like, it would be great to see a full redesign and then somehow like make it where it still is cheaper. Like it's similar, but not the same, obviously.
So you mentioned you want the iPhone SE to change, but how would you design it? Like, what would you retro a different iPhone?
Well, it's called the iPhone SE, like the iPhone Special Edition, and I feel like the iPhone 5S's design isn't super special. So I mean,
pick one.
I would make it this like more like the iPod Touch design myself.
The only thing special about it is that it's the best looking design for an iPhone ever made. But
yeah,
so far until the 8 comes up.
What if they go with the retro, like an iPod, like the first original iPhone? They have that metal back and the matte black front, the glossy black.
Yeah,
I think they could go back to the first generation, maybe make it thinner and update it.
Are we talking about the iPhone SE2?
Yes.
That would be cool. I feel like now you're getting into iPhone 8 because there's been talk that it's going to have like kind of an ode to the original iPhone.
Yeah,
well, that was a while ago.
There's something about a chrome backing, wasn't there?
Yeah, there's supposedly going to be a reflective backing very similar to the iPod Touch 1 and 2. You know what I'm talking about, Jake? That silver back?
Oh, yeah. The one that's scratched super easily.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I'm not a fan of.
I mean, I think, there was a rumor, too, that it was going to be, like you said, Vince, that it was going to be two-toned. Because it was like the iPod, or like the iPhone, like, classic like look flashback edition, and there was also a rumor that it would be called like the iPhone edition or something like that, right?
Yeah.
But I don't think we're gonna see that unless we see an iPhone 7s, an iPhone 8, and an iPhone edition.
Happening.
Which is not happening.
You know, earlier you guys mentioned, or I can't remember if it was Vince or Jake that mentioned, but you said that not a lot of people use iTunes for their music anymore. And right. I agree, but did you know that the iTunes Store does not yet support 4K or HDR content?
Yeah, I saw that on your Twitter or something. It's pretty crazy, actually, considering it used to be, in the early days, a pretty go-to place for watching
movies or TV shows.
Yeah.
But now I think everybody has like Netflix or Hulu or HBO, and so like nobody really goes to iTunes to watch movies anymore.
Nobody buys single movies or shows digitally.
Yeah.
See, that's what I thought. But apparently there's a relatively big market for people who still just shell out money to iTunes buying individual movies and TV shows.
Those people are making mistakes.
Well, I mean, I bet there is quite a big market, but it's for people who like have like media servers and like store all their movies digitally, and they spend hours of time like organizing that and getting them and stuff too, like some pirate them and like high quality. I feel like that's where that market is. It's a niche market, and there's quite a bit of people who still do it.
Here's a thought. So a lot of people who watch movies probably watch them on like planes or whatever with their phones. Or their iPads. Those devices are just now getting like 4K screens or like high resolution screens. You think that has something to do with it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
because
I mean that's fair.
People don't like use iTunes, the desktop applications to watch movies.
No.
Like they watch them on their phone.
Yeah.
Or iPad.
And those phones are what is the resolution in iPhone 7, Sam?
Oh, This
You
is
should know this off the
actually
top of your head.
I
Come on.
should know this off the top of my head. I think it's
13. Oh wait, I know it.
I think 1300. It's something by 700. I'm pretty sure.
1334 by 750.
Here, let me.
I had to do this. I had to memorize this for my class last semester because we were designing a game specifically for the screen of the iPhone, which didn't matter at all because we never put it on the iPhone. So,
all right, Jake gets the gold star. 750 by 1334.
Wait, 750. Yes. All right, sweet.
And iPhone 7 Plus is 1242 by 2208, but downsampled to 1920 by 1080. Or 1080 by 1920.
Yeah, so most of Apple's devices aren't even using 4K.
But I mean, across the board, smartphones aren't really 4K. They're
higher resolution. Apple's only just now getting into higher resolution. For the longest time, they've been using their Retina displays, and
look where that
Android has been far ahead in like screen technology for the past couple of years.
Samsung has been killing the game.
So even like, yeah. So I think that has part of it, and also
4K.
Maybe they're modernizing it. And
also, like 4K HDR Blu-ray discs are just now becoming popular. Like they're now becoming mainstream. Yeah, like they're like a couple months ago you couldn't really find those anywhere in stores, but now like it's basically the next version of Blu-ray. You have to have a new player, which for example like an Xbox One X or S and X I guess would be able to support. And yeah, you have to buy new discs too.
But who watches DVDs anymore?
Oh, I mean,
I feel like there's actually still a pretty good market.
There is a pretty good market, but it's also declining. It's like investing in Best Buy 10 years ago.
I think that nothing will ever become as popular as buying a DVD, but I think that Netflix and all these streaming services are gonna eventually take over. You can buy movies. I'm saying physically. I'm saying that like nothing will ever like these Blu-rays will never beat the amount of DVDs that people bought. But yeah, streaming is definitely going to take over and forever be the future.
It's just so much easier, and it's like cheaper. And think about it. I don't want to pay for a movie unless I don't want to own a movie because I'm only gonna watch it once or twice in my life.
I do. I like once I become old enough, or like basically to the point where it's like I'm living on my own. I got my own setup and everything. I'm gonna buy my favorite like 30 movies on 4K Blu-ray.
I have my favorite movies.
That's what That's what it's going to be for. It's because nothing will ever look better than a physical copy, the physical like version of the movie. The bit rate is just such higher quality than streaming.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that's
the Blu-ray technology, so people can have a retro collection in 20 years.
I mean, I think it's. I'm just saying once again, it's there's a market for it, but it's kind of a niche market, and obviously.
And it seems silly to me to invest so heavily in a niche market when it's moving away from that quickly.
Yeah, well, nobody's gonna invest in it, but
they are because they're pushing this new Blu-ray technology. Somebody invested in that to put money into it and to develop it and to people to work on it.
I mean, it's basically it'll last until people have all their movies and they're not. I mean, obviously, people will buy newer movies that they love on Blu-ray, 4K Blu-ray, but like. Once it starts, everybody has their movies, then I don't know what they'll do. I mean, well, I guess 8K Blu-ray.
Yes, that's when I'm jumping in. I'm just gonna sell. I'm gonna buy out Netflix, kill the service, and then just start watching my 8K
No,
Blu-rays.
that'll never.
Can't wait. Get hyped, squad fam.
It's funny because once we hit 8K, there will no longer be a point to make higher resolutions.
Is that what the human eye can see?
That's what we said after 1080, and that's what we said after 4K.
No, because people they've created like 16K screens or whatever. People have said that it's just you don't really notice anything anymore.
Just wait. I promise you, in 30 years,
I'll tell you right now, I'm not buying
10K,
anything.
16K.
I'm not buying anything past an 8K screen. I will never do it.
I'll be first in line for 64K.
You won't be able to see it. Like,
it doesn't matter. It's better.
I can see pixels pretty well. Like, but it just starts getting to the point where things like look like too real, and it's kind of jarring. And there's no point to. I will never get anything past 8K.
That's funny because people said the same thing about 4K.
I didn't say the same thing about 4K.
People did though.
Well, I didn't. So, but 8K. I mean, maybe if like 16K screens when they become cheap or whatever, then I'll do it. But like, it just becomes less of an upgrade each time.
Same about like streaming in 8K or 4K. I can't wait for the day when like broadband and network connection can all handle all of that.
That will be amazing.
So never, ever. Never in the history of the planet will most Americans be able to watch 8K. I guarantee most of like my viewers watch my videos at like 480p, and it makes me so sad.
480p? I doubt 480p.
Okay, maybe 720, but still.
My college university only allows me to stream on 480p. That's as much as their bandwidth can handle.
That's not true. Don't you go to the same college that I do?
I feel like I feel like they throttle me to watch it at 480p.
There was a problem with the Wi-Fi in like late December, early January, and it like people were having trouble connecting. There was like a really weird issue, but then like after February, everything returned to normal. But yeah, like you could just not watch. You just couldn't watch YouTube. I just couldn't watch YouTube on the Wi-Fi for like 2 or 3 months. It just wouldn't work.
I do remember that. You did. That was a thing.
Somebody in the chat just brought up. They have a 4K TV and it looks the same as 1080p. So my question is, are you using like 4K content?
Yeah.
Because there's a difference. You can definitely see a difference between 4K on a 1080p and 1080p on a 1080p.
Well, also just some people can't see the difference as well as others.
It doesn't make sense.
That is true.
Like, my mom doesn't know the difference.
Yeah, same with my mom. She's just like, I like the TV because like it's not important to a lot of people.
Yeah.
People just want to see their content. They don't care if it's at 24K or 244p. Like, pretty much if it's above 720, people are going to be like, okay, that's HD. That looks good to me.
Mm-hmm. See, that's what somebody who has used Apple all their life would say. Oh, my screen's Retina display. It's all good. I can't see anything else anyway.
It's better than those 4K displays.
Yeah. Actually, speaking of 4K, I'm really proud of the transitions today. I'm going to be honest. Like, I've been working really hard. Like, I'm not even listening to what you're saying. I'm just constantly thinking of the next transition. No. So, Apple TV 5 might be coming later this year. And
really?
People have been discussing or not. Hey, I can hear you.
I'm in a podcast right now.
Oh, Jake, you didn't mute yourself. No, so there's supposed to be an Apple TV coming later this year, and it is reportedly going to support 4K and HDR content. So I was like, that would make sense this August or September when Apple has an event if they update the Apple TV along with adding support for 4K content on the iTunes Store, which you could, of course, watch on your Apple TV.
On the Apple TV, yeah. Hello?
Would you buy an Apple TV with higher resolution?
I just don't have an interest in Apple TVs.
Really?
No, I have a Google Chromecast. I hardly ever use that. I have a smart TV, and that's pretty much how I watch. I have a smart TV or I have an iPad, and that's how I watch pretty much all of my content.
Yeah, that's true. A lot of TVs have the streaming capabilities built in now.
So I have no interest in an Apple TV, but I think it's cool that they're supporting 4K and they're finally, supporting the future, kind of.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited for it.
Are you going to pick one up, or are you going to stick with your Apple?
I mean, I'll probably get it because it's new.
Yeah. You're gonna get the Apple TV, the HomePod, the 2 new iPhones.
Oh no, my goal is to get 2 HomePods. I want to get 2
2
HomePods.
HomePods. Yeah, sorry.
Didn't you say in the video you're gonna get like 4 HomePods or something?
Somebody asked if I had $10,000 what I would do, and I said I'd buy like a spec'd out iMac Pro and then just buy like 8 HomePods. I would like HomePods to replace like the Sonos in my house.
Yeah, I know that's what you want, and I'd be happy to.
Because it would work with iTunes, Jake.
Yeah,
I would just tell
work with Bluetooth.
I would tell every single speaker to set an alarm at 3 a.m.
Oh my gosh, I would be so upset. I'd be so upset. 3 a.m.
I feel like his parents would be a little bit.
Set my alarm.
Jake, are you gonna buy the new Apple TV that supports 4K?
If I didn't
have an Apple TV,
no. If I didn't have an Xbox, I'd buy an Apple TV, but I have an Xbox.
Exactly,
so,
that's how I feel.
I mean, here's the thing: it's like we have an Amazon Fire TV stick downstairs, and I mean, if we didn't have that, then maybe I would invest in like getting an Apple TV for downstairs and whatever. Like, I think that they're like, especially when they updated the OS. Like, what was it, 2 years ago when they released the newest Apple TV?
I think it was 2015. It was 2 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess it was 2. That seems like a lot longer.
How much are they?
They're around $100.
So that's not that bad.
I think they started at $150, but like with sales, I think if you go to Apple's website, it's like $149, which is honestly a decent amount for a streaming box.
Yeah. The max I would pay is $100.
It's a lot of money.
The Chromecast is what, $30? What is the 4K Chromecast? Because I think those were a little bit more expensive, but it still does relatively the same thing.
Oh yeah.
4K Chromecast are 70.
Okay.
4K is 70. So
and
honestly, that's a lot.
I'm sure those are built okay, but like there was at one point where the Amazon Fire TV stick, like, it gets overheated sometimes, like, and I'm sure the Chromecasts are better.
The Chromecast gets warm.
Yeah, they get like really hot, and I feel like that might degrade like incoming stream quality. Like, I feel like
I haven't.
I feel like you won't notice it, but like I definitely have more. If I was buying one myself for myself to use on a daily basis, I would not be buying a stick. I'd have to buy a box, either the Apple TV or the Amazon Fire TV box, or the Google one, or
the Roku.
But it's a degrading quality when your device gets warm, but you can't tell the difference between 4K and 1080p.
What? I didn't say that.
It sure sounded like it a bit earlier.
When we were talking about AK?
Yeah. You'll notice the difference when your Amazon Fire Stick heats up.
No,
but you won't notice the difference.
I never said. I said other people, like people who don't care about like resolution.
You were complaining that you weren't gonna get like a 16K versus an 8K screen.
Yeah, because 1080p between 4K is such a huge difference. Like, you can notice it. They're like, our eyes have like a maximum. I mean, they don't have a maximum resolution per se, but there's just a point where like it just doesn't. It's like when a phone gets faster. It's like, because obviously you'll notice the speed jump from an iPhone 4 to an iPhone 5. Like, back in the day when you got an iPhone 4 to an iPhone 5, it was incredible. Or an iPhone
or like an iPhone 7 to a Galaxy S8, right, Sam?
Well, let's not say that Android's better. Let's not just jump in there.
But like, it's gotten fast enough where it's like I have my iPhone 6s and it's not slow. But before, it's like this phone is slow. You could tell that it was slow. Now you just don't. It becomes less noticeable each time because the speed increase is less
The
less.
technology is growing slower.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
harder to make the devices faster.
I mean, not that, but it's just you don't notice the speed is each time because it's no longer slow. So obviously 1080p, you can still see the pixels. 4K, you can't see them very well. You
If
can
get close
barely
enough,
see
Cam.
them.
If you get close enough.
Yeah, but like you're not
On
going
a
to be
big enough
sitting
screen.
you're not going to be sitting an inch away from the screen.
That is true.
So
I don't think we'll ever be settled
I'm
until
going
it's
to be
literally just a plane. Like there's no pixels. It's just everything. It's just there.
Yeah.
You don't see pixels. It's just
there are people who've
It's something-
complained about how things in 8K look too real and that they can't do it.
why would you complain about that?
I
Well, I
mean,
guess it would be kind of
I don't see
weird.
the problem
Yeah,
with that.
like-
What's the problem with it looking too real?
I don't know. It's just
I don't
like
know. It's
I guess
it's
you don't.
like jumping out at you or something.
Yeah,
I
like
don't
when
know.
you-
I'd have to experience it. I haven't looked at an 8K screen before.
I actually don't think I have either.
Yeah.
Texans. I should probably do that. I want to put that on my bucket list for 2017.
You have to go
Look
to
at an 8K
CES.
screen. Yep, CES, Sam, here we come.
Hey, 2017. Hopefully we'll be there. Or 2018. Hopefully we'll be there. Did you guys see the latest iPhone 8 leak?
The one about the SIM card.
Yes.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I saw the image on your on Twitter.
What do you think?
It looks really, really similar to the Essential phone, and at least what they've teased with that.
Yeah, I agree.
Which I think is funny because before they released anything about that Essential phone, nobody like thought of this design for the iPhone. And then as soon as Essential released their leaks or they released their official phone, the leaks started to look similar to that.
I thought we saw this design for the iPhone 8 before Essential released their phone.
Nope, never before the that little bar up top. That was never depicted in an iPhone before the Essential released their phone.
Well, maybe Apple was holding out.
Maybe
That's
Apple
what I'm
copied them.
That's what I'm saying. And I don't know because Apple definitely releases some leaks. Like they push some leaks out into the community so people have an idea what to expect. And I don't know how much to believe of this leak and then the previous leaks beforehand.
Yeah, that's true. Do you think that controlled leaks is something that Apple does?
Oh yeah, 100%. Because then that's how they build hype.
What do you think, Jake?
I mean, I think that they release control leaks to confuse people. I don't think they actually like have like created the whole leak of this specific design look. Like, I feel like they might do help with controlled leaks where it confuses people because we are still, even though that everybody basically thinks this design, they're not completely sure. So, like it. I don't know. Could Apple fabricate this whole like that would be pretty amazing if they just walked on stage and it's like we tricked you.
That'd be cool. I would be excited actually.
What if they just didn't release an iPhone 8?
That would be the biggest meme of all time.
It would be.
I would be legitimately
just-
upset.
Tim Cook just walks on stage. He's like, in order to get more technology in the iPhone, we made the bezels bigger.
That would be funny. I really hope, because there's been so many leaks this year, I hope that somebody on stage makes a joke like, I'm sure you haven't seen this design before, or something like that.
I
Like,
remember when Steve Cook made that joke.
Steve Cook?
Steve Cook. Steve Cook, everybody.
Well, the Galaxy S8, basically everything about that phone was released before it was released officially.
That's true.
Yeah, but that's Samsung. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
Hashtag
We'll
Steve
see.
Cook.
But I did think that the bezels were a little bit thicker on this thing than
It looks a lot more like the LG G6.
It does. It looks very. That's the vibe I'm getting. But at the same time, like, let's say hypothetically that this is the final design that the iPhone 8 ships with. I would be happy with this. I would be very happy with this design. I love the way it looks. I like how it fills the entire screen.
I've seen some renders of the back. The front looks nice, but the back, I've seen some renders of the vertical camera that look great, and then some that look awful. And I really hope that the back of it looks attractive.
Yeah.
We'll
see.
What are some of the renders of the back? What do they look like?
Well, there's a few. There's like the most popular ones have like the silver ring around it and the flash in the middle. And I'm not a fan of the way that looks. It looks really, really cheap, like a knockoff iPhone almost would.
Well, I think that the silver ring is a placeholder.
For what?
I think that the silver ring is just like a placeholder. Like, I think it's going to be all black, or it's going to match the color of the iPhone. I think that I read that the silver ring is just for dummy units.
I don't know. I mean, obviously we haven't seen anything official, so that I'm kind of holding out hope that it does look better than the renders have made it to look like, which phones usually do. But other than that, the front looks attractive, and I'm ready to spend $1,099 on this phone, but nothing more.
So you were at 1,000 last week, or did you go up to 1,100?
If they eclipse $1,100, I'm out.
1101, no iPhone 8.
1101 is not. I'm not doing it.
Are you buying it, Vince?
If it's less than 1100
it's that price,
yes.
anyway. Okay.
I probably will. Yeah.
Oh.
I am gonna buy it regardless. Well, I say
You're
that now.
You're also gonna spec it out fully to 128 gigabytes.
Well, no, if it's 64 gigs, I'm fine with 64.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even I'd be tempted to get 32 because I looked at how much storage I use, and if I download all my music, I'm at like 70 gigs. If I just stream my music, I'm at like 20 gigs of usage on my phone.
How are you?
Yeah, me too. I'm right at 30.
I just don't use that much space on my 16 is too low, 8 way too low, 32 I feel like. Well, then again, a lot of people take
if
pictures.
If you don't download your music,
then
you can get 32 gigabytes.
Yeah, 32 is fair.
8 gigabytes is basically your phone's operating system.
No, it actually is. 8 gigabytes. That's like equivalent to abuse in 2017. Is giving someone a 8 gigabyte iPhone.
I'm gonna buy you an iPhone with 8 gigabytes of storage.
I'm not.
That'd be the worst torture.
I'll find a new co-host. It'll just be me and Jake, like the old times.
How long did that last?
Well, we had 2 podcasts before this. TBT.
HomePods coming back.
All right, there's one more thing that I want to talk about that you guys showed me before the show that blew my mind.
Yeah. Oh,
tell the story about the Facebook AI. Tell the Facebook AI story, please.
You broke the story. You have it.
All right, so earlier today, I think it was, Facebook announced that they had an AI that created its own language. So in order to not lose control of it, they shut it down.
So I have an exact quote. I have a quote. It's from the Collective Evolution. It's that website, and it said here. Facebook has developed a new artificial AI, and it has since created its own language using code words to communicate more efficiently. Researchers shut the system down over concerns that they might lose control over the AI.
We're in the future. Definitely just your everyday movie plot.
That is so scary. That is so scary. I thought that was just a meme.
It created it so it could talk to other AIs faster.
Oh my god. Why is movies aren't supposed to be realistic?
No, that's why they made those types of movies.
I don't like it. Are robots actually going to take over? Is that going to be a thing?
Didn't you see, what was it, 2 weeks ago?
They make robots. Everyday household items.
A robot that threw itself into a fountain.
Oh yeah, it killed itself or something,
It
right?
killed itself.
Oh my god! Why is that? Did that actually happen?
Yes. We're still a ways off from robots taking over the world. It's scary to see how AI can like teach itself how to talk
That is scary.
based upon the
Yeah.
English language.
Like they're
It's pretty far gap between a robot killing itself and then one creating its own language.
so
Until robots can become waterproof, I think we're safe.
Yeah.
Wait, our phones are waterproof. Shoot. So how many years off are we from robots legitimately becoming the dominant force on Earth and humans are no longer a thing?
I think that
200?
North Korea will figure out their nuke problems before robots take over.
So never.
Never. We
God.
will be long gone because of nuclear warfare before robots take over.
See, we would have to have basically the movie Robot happens, Sam. So robots would have to be everyday like household items that do stuff for you, and then that's when they get taken over by one. What?
Have you ever played the Fallout games?
Oh no, but I know about the what are they
The little
called?
robot that helps you around or whatever.
Oh,
It has to be
okay.
like that point.
Yeah, like then one single AI starts controlling them all and making them like kill people or slash.
Oh.
A curfew is in effect. Please return to your homes.
Plot twist, the robots nuke us and they aren't affected by radiation, so they're just the dominant force on Earth.
So then it's just cockroaches and robots.
Yeah.
Living away the days in paradise.
WallE.
WallE, that was such a good movie. That was such a
It
good
is.
movie. 10 out of 10. That was Disney's peak.
Second favorite Pixar movie.
Okay,
What's
off
the
track.
first Toy Story?
No, up.
No, Incredibles.
What?
Yes, Incredibles is the best Pixar movie.
Jake, you've lost all credibility when it comes to movies.
What are you talking about? You're saying Incredibles isn't up on your Pixar's movie list?
You know there's Incredibles 2 coming?
Yeah, I don't know if that's gonna be good.
Up is the best Pixar movie.
I mean, Up is
pretty
like
good.
up there for me.
Don't
Up
at me.
there.
Up there.
Please clap.
It's definitely yeah, I like it better than all three Toy Story movies.
Yeah, you've definitely lost all credibility when it comes to movies, Jake.
Oh, I
You
almost
just
shed
said
it.
that you liked Up as your favorite, so that means you like
It
it
is.
above all
But
three
then
Toy
right
Story
behind it-
movies.
Right behind it is all three Toy Story movies.
The third one is okay, Vince.
No, the third one, I almost shed a tear at the end. I almost shed
Oh,
a
yeah.
tear
I'm
at the
not
end of the
saying
third
it's
one.
good. I'm not saying it's bad.
Because-
It's just not
Because we
as
all went away to
good.
college. You
Yeah,
could be
but-
like Andy.
Yeah.
The second
Sam,
one's the best one.
Did you have to pack away all of your iPhones when you had to go away to college?
The
We should
second
make-
one
we
is
should
the
make
best
a-
Toy Story.
Toy Story parody with all your iPhones.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, let's make it called the iPhone story.
Oh.
That'd be so sad. They get sold off every year when the new one comes out.
Sam, we can't be sharing our secrets, or we
Oh,
have
yeah,
to talk about this after the camera's off.
We got to save all of our, crack ideas here at iPod. Well, hey guys, anything else happening? All right, I can
No, I
tell
mean,
by
that Facebook
the
thing was
quick
a-
response.
The quick response. No, the Facebook thing is the biggest thing in the news right now, I think, like tech-wise.
That is funny.
No
and scary.
leaks, really. The leaks and all the rumors have really slowed down for the iPhone 8 in the last couple of weeks and couple of months.
I'm still waiting to get contacted, and a company will be like, "Hey, we got this working iPhone 8. Do you want it?" We'll see. We'll see
How much would you pay
if or
for it?
when. Didn't we go over this?
We did.
Yeah.
Wasn't it like 4,000? I think I said.
Yeah. It's still too much.
Still too much.
Depends
Yeah.
on how many views you would get.
Yeah, that's true. Probably a lot. Probably.
How much? Yeah, I don't know. I was gonna say how much money could you make off of like a video with 4 million views or something like that, but
Well, I think we're not technically supposed to talk about it, but an example that I've used other YouTubers use is like a bad CPM or cost per thousand. So like roughly you make $100 per 100,000 views. So if you got 4 million views, you would get $4,000. So yeah, you basically get your money.
There you go.
And that's like you'd probably make more than that. Like I would estimate if you had a decent CPN, like 6,500 or 8,000, maybe double it if you had a really good one. But at the base end, you'd be making $4,000.
Yeah, all you gotta do is get 4 million views, Sam. Which I don't even think our channel has in its entire history.
That is not true. We have 8 million.
Oh, so wait, are you telling me you have made? Let's do the math here.
All right, guys. So we appreciate you guys listening to the latest episode of Silicon. If you want to review it on iTunes, as always, you can. We would appreciate it. Give us a 5-star rating, or if you just hate the show, give us some terrible feedback or non-constructive feedback, and tell us how to fix it.
Leave some topics to talk about in the next episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We appreciate the support, Jake and Vince. It was good chatting. Catch you guys later.
Yep, it was good talking to you, Sam. See you guys.